Hello, it is Sara Waggle, astrologer and leadership coach here for Wellness Astrology for October 17th through the 19th. Okay, so as always, disclaimer, this is not medical, legal, or financial advice. Please consult those professionals as needed. I'm just looking at astrology charts. That disclaimer is also printed below. Um, all right, so the moon is moving into Taurus, just coming off of that pretty hectic full moon in Aries. So the moon, while it's exalted and it's its happy place to be in Taurus, we may not feel like we're in such a happy place because there's just a lot going on in the world. And there might be a lot stirred up within you. So, certainly take advantage of creature comforts where you can, connect with the earth where you can, get yourself grounded, do some meditation, do some yoga, really connecting in. Taurus is the second sign of the zodiac. And so it is material possessions and things like that. It can have to do with good food, good nutrition. Um, and that kind of thing. But but we should, I want to say it's not so connected with the physical body. That'd be more like Virgo. However, that doesn't mean don't get connected with your physical body, right? When I say good food, I don't mean go gorge on a bunch of Oreos. It's more like enjoy a couple of Oreos, but really take the time to eat some hearty root vegetables, some hearty meats and things like that to really ground yourself in and kind of ground the energy. We're also still, like I said, we're in some pretty heated, tense energy um, between these planets. So it's kind of one of those, like, I want to say this is a Taurus moon and it's a good moon, but the moon's probably like the only good thing about it. So um because most of the rest of the planets are still in tight squeezes with like we still have, hold on, let me just try this differently. Hang on. Let's just share the chart because it's probably easier. I honestly am still coming out of it and haven't really caught up with like writing everything down. And so, but I do think there's a lot of people who do appreciate seeing the chart anyway. I know a lot of my viewers tend to be low vision or blind, but I am starting to notice some interaction and engagement from people who can see. Oh, I want to make sure everybody gets what they need. Okay, so in this chart, the moon is pretty much at the end of Taurus, which will happen midday on Saturday the 19th. But the good news is we do have Venus moving into Sagittarius um, as soon as the moon moves into Taurus. And so the reason that's significant is Sagittarius is a fire sign, indicative of the red label above where Venus is up there in the corner there. I see I don't have like a pointer thing. I don't know if I can, if I zoom in on my laptop, then I lose my share capability for whatever reason. So, and I'm not good at like moving my pointer when I can't see it. So anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know if this is any better. Um, okay, Venus, Mars down in Cancer in the bottom here, and then Mercury just starting out in Scorpio. These three are our personal planets, right? Mars is our headstrong, warrior-like energy. Mercury is our mindset, and communication, and Venus is money, relationships, self-worth, self-love, all of those things. And so up until now, we haven't had a personal planet in a fire sign for quite some time since everything was in Leo, and that would have been sometime in August or September, or early September rather. And so we've had, Mars in Cancer, or yeah, Mars in Cancer since early September, and he's going to be there for a very long time. He's already slowing down to go into retrograde. Um, and so that's pretty significant amount of time for Mars to be in a sign. He's normally in a sign for about 40 days. He's going to be in Cancer for the better part of the next, what, 6 months till the end of April. And Mercury has been through his paces. and getting into Scorpio. So Venus being in Sagittarius, a social fire sign, this could be good because we could be talking more. We could be, having conversations and things like that. But the tension is still in the air because we still have the sun closing in on a square to Pluto there at 29 Capricorn. So here's the sun here in Libra. Pluto at 29 Capricorn, he has moved forward a minute, a geometric minute, and Mars down here in Cancer. So we still kind of have that T-square going from the full moon energy that we had, which created the cardinal grand cross. There's still a lot of tension. Excuse me. In the air. Boy, hang on. It's just not going my way today. All right. Thank goodness there's a pause button on the recorder. Okay. All right. So we have that tension in that T-square between Mars and Pluto and the sun. The sun is the apex of that. But also like again, like I said, like Mars is crawling through these last 10 degrees or 7 degrees or so of Cancer. He's in his pre-retrograde shadow. He does not station retrograde until mid-December. But we're feeling the effect, and everything that we've sort of noticed come up that might feel like it needs nurturing or that it needs time and space will be coming back when Mars stations retrograde. And so I believe he entered his shadow around the 4th, 5th, 6th, something like that of October. And so, everything that we experience between then and December, is it 16th? 6th, 16th? I can't remember off the top of my head. We're gonna kind of replay as Mars goes retrograde in mid-December. And then when he stations direct, we'll go over it again. Okay. I do want to point out too, we have Mercury at 9 degrees of Scorpio and Saturn at 13 degrees. So Mercury's closing in on a trine then with Saturn. So water communicating with a water sign. So the water sign of Scorpio communicating with the water sign Pisces, Saturn in retrograde, Mercury direct. And I mean, Saturn in Pisces, as I've said many times, is kind of hard to read. It's about, restriction and responsibility with regard to spirituality and duality. Mercury, which is about communication in Scorpio, is kind of like the depths or the like needing to have a deeper than superficial conversation. So it's not like you can just talk to your partner about having another, I don't know, having another baby. It's more about talking to your partner about how you feel about it and really both of you getting real about it. And maybe this isn't the right time, or maybe it is. If you're trying to end a relationship or start a relationship, this could really be about getting real with it. I don't recommend starting a relationship right now. There's way too much going on that's like not in favor of that. But I mean, you do you. I'm not here to tell you how to live your life. Venus and Sag is a good bet, but I think with all of the retrogrades and Mars getting ready to station retrograde in a month or so, a couple months, and so much change and turmoil in the world, like I guess like my whole thing about making abrupt change right now is kind of like keep your feet. Okay, how do I explain this? What I'm feeling? It's kind of like one of those like don't put yourself on such a steep gradient. Okay, if we think about a ramp, right? You're on even ground, and then you're like, "Ooh, things are going good," and you want to make them go gooder, right? Excuse my poor grammar, but you work with me here. So you heighten the gradient, you make it steeper, and then all of a sudden it flattens, and you can't get your footing. And so what I'm saying about making too many things happen for yourself right now, like I'm not saying don't go after things, don't make things go, but I'm saying keep the gradient at a level that which you can keep gaining traction. Does that make sense? So instead of taking the gradient from flat to boom and losing your footing, keep the gradient low enough that you can keep going forward and using what little momentum there is right now without losing your footing and sliding back down on your butt. Make sense? Because that's kind of where we are. There is always potential to move forward, but the energy right now is not prime for it. But it doesn't mean that you can't make preparations. I saw a lot of squirrels when I was in Buffalo on my vacation. I saw a lot of squirrels, and I probably see squirrels all the time, but like I don't know that they're squirrels, and I'm not usually walking with other people. And so because when I was in Buffalo, I was walking with other people who could see and they could point out all of the squirrels around us. That's how I knew there were squirrels around us. Okay. But if we just think about like the squirrel or the groundhog or other critters about, they're always preparing for hibernation. And that's kind of where we are right now, is we're sort of preparing for hibernation. We're gathering all of the things that we need to nourish ourselves, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, all of the things. And then we are going to hibernate and kind of take it all in, right? Okay, and this being a moon in an earth sign, Taurus is an earth sign. Um, like I said, nourish yourself really well, hearty root vegetables, or good meats. It is like hunting season in many parts, and so you might be getting some, good, good game meat, and things like that. And so, keep, and it's also, we know harvest season. That's why I'm in the situation that I'm in. I came back home. It was harvest season. Yay, there's dirt in the air and all the things. But so take really good care of yourself. Really, that's what Taurus, a combination of Taurus, Cancer, Mars being in Cancer, Venus now in Sagittarius. Maybe it's could be a hit of being adventurous with Venus and Sag, and getting out of your comfort zone and doing something that's way outside your comfort zone. Sagittarius is broadening your horizons. It's education, it's international or foreign affairs, learning something new, right? Practicing something new, whether as a teacher or as a new form of education for yourself. And so you could be stepping outside your comfort zone just to try on some new outfits, right? Try on some new teaching tools, try on some new type of living. Okay. And I'm connecting Venus in Sag with the moon in Taurus because Venus is the ruler of Taurus. And so the moon being in Taurus, it's Venetian. And so now we have Venus in Sagittarius. So this is kind of like one of those, like, how do you know that yoga doesn't work for you if you're not willing to try yoga for 30 days to see if it works? And I'm saying that specifically because it's kind of one of those, you go to the gym one time and you try a yoga class and you're like, well, that was stupid. I suck at that. I can't hold a downward facing dog. And that's stupid. I'm never coming back. And you don't even really give it a fair chance because maybe today you can't hold the downward facing dog, but tomorrow you probably can. Right? It's the same thing with anything else. If you're like, oh, I can't do a silent meditation for 20 minutes, I couldn't even do it for 5. Well, no, not the first time, maybe. It is a lot. It's hard. It can be. And the next thing and I'm saying give it a 30-day commitment, right? Because how do you know, right? If something works or doesn't work, if you don't give it a fair commitment of a chance to work. And so, and you never know. You might connect with the yoga instructor, and the yoga instructor is like, hey, you could probably do that downward dog better if you tried this. And she may give you a modification, and maybe that is what you need, is a modification. Push-ups is also a really perfect example here because a lot of people can't do like a plank push-up, right? Being on your toes and your hands. Okay, that's a plank push-up, right? And some people can't do those. Some people need to be on their knees and only go halfway down. Or some people even need more modification than that, right? Maybe you need to do a wall push-up, right? So my point here is to step outside your comfort zone, doing something that you are reasonably certain has benefits, but give it a good, fair chance to see if it will be of benefit for you, right? Does that make sense? Okay. It's the same as like nutritionally, like you don't know if the nutrition plan is going to work until you try it. Um, I do say, root vegetables right now because keeping ourselves rooted and grounded. So sweet potatoes, onions, red peppers, red things in general. So tomatoes, what am I thinking of? Radishes, carrots, parsnips, things like that, things that can keep you grounded and rooted. Those vegetables are all either red or they grow in the ground. And so those can help you get rooted and stay rooted. And so, but take on something fun. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's get out of this screen share. All righty. Hydration. Always good. It's going to continue to be important while we still have a lot of water energy. By that, I mean, Mars, Mercury, Saturn, Neptune are all in water signs. So hydration, and whatnot. And, what else? Yeah, just know that you're being prepared for something. And if that means you got to let some stuff go, it's time to let some stuff go. So I know it's a difficult time for a lot of people. And all we can really do is take care of ourselves and take care of each other and be compassionate. But it's also a time when things are really, really changing rapidly and it's a lot to take in at one time. All right, let's see what's up with the Star Trek Next Gen Tarot. Um, all right, we got the Knight of Cloaks upright. Oh goodness, this is a Romulan, and I don't remember which Romulan it is off the top of my head. Knight of Cloaks upright. Knight of Wands upright. Wands is fire. Knight of Fire. Um, I mean, no one's coming to save us. No one's coming to save humanity. We gotta save humanity. This is where compassion and having a heart and, acknowledging that we all have a role in helping humanity save itself. Because we're all a part of humanity. So we all have to help humanity save itself. Whatever you need to do to save yourself is something that other people are doing to save themselves. Right? Yeah. We all have to find a way to help humanity to help ourselves because helping ourselves individually is what helps save humanity from this craziness. Um, we also got, oh my goodness, the King of Cloaks upright. Okay, it must be a Romulan situation going on. Um, what if we're all Romulans in disguise? Romulans did have the cloaking device. Okay. Leadership, King of Cloaks, leadership, leadership, I mean, this is all pointing at you, all of us as a community, as a collective. I mean, this is, you know, the knight that's saving yourself, the knight within you that's saving you, and the king that's within you is supporting you and leading you, and, you know, looking within you. But this is also kind of like looking around, and seeing what you can do to be a leader. Like I saw a random post on Facebook the other day of somebody that I know from Chicago whose high school is looking for knitting and crochet supplies. I'm like, okay, let me find out what I got, and I'll send it to her, right? That's how we help out, right? Is to a friend, you know, we support a friend's business, we support a friend's mission, we support our friends or people whom we know are doing cool things in the world. That's how we help out. All right, let's see what's up with the woodland wardens, and then let's get out of here for this moon in Taurus. Um, And we're almost done with Libra season. So that means Scorpio season is on the way, the spookiest one of them all. I have a new deck for Scorpio season. I'm so excited. I bought it when I was on my vacation, and I'm very excited to share it with you. Um, but in the meantime, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Hopefully, I'm not as nasally by the time I'm recording Scorpio things. Um, so in the Woodland Wardens, we got the butterfly and the snowdrop. And this is hope. Don't give up hope. Please don't give up hope. Okay. I know things are really weird, and they're going to continue to get weird and weirder and weirder and all of the things. Please don't give up hope. Please lean into your resources. Please lean into your faith in God's source universe. Please lean on your friends, your family, your people. Be resourceful. We're all going through like some upheaval in some way, shape, or form. Whether it's a mindset shift that you're like, oh my God, and you're having panic attacks, or you're, you know, I think I mentioned it before, like the simultaneous experience of grief and joy, right? Some of us are losing friends, or family members, yet our life is kind of going in a different direction. And so there's so many different things going on in different directions. Please don't lose hope. We're all here. We all chose to be here in this time and in this space. So stay the course, kids. All right, I got you. Thank you for joining me for Wellness Astrology. Please take care of yourself, stay hydrated, well nourished, all of the things, and I will talk to you in the next video.